The Deadpool sequel is set to release on June 1st, 2018, following New Mutants in April and followed by the Dark Phoenix saga in November. David Leitch, co-director of John Wick, was brought in to direct the movie after Tim Miller stepped down due to creative differences. No details regarding the plot have been revealed yet, but we do know which characters will be showing up in the sequel. Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Vanessa, Weasel, and Blind Al are all set to reprise their roles. The new additions to the cast include Cable and Domino. Cable, who is going to be played by Josh Brolin, is Cyclops' time-traveling son and possesses various telepathic and telekinetic abilities. Domino, played by Zazie Beetz, is a mutant-slash-mercenary who possesses the ability to manipulate probability in her favor, giving the effect of incredible luck. Both of these characters are heavily connected to Deadpool, seeing as they both played pivotal roles in the issue Deadpool was first introduced in. It is also being reported that 3 new mutants are going to be introduced in a post-credit scene to further set up the future X-Force movie. These mutants are Sunspot, Feral, and Shatterstar. Sunspot is a Brazilian mutant with the ability to harness the sun's power, which grants him superhuman strength, speed, and durability. He made a cinematic debut in X-Men Days of Future Past, but it's safe to say that this will be a different version of the character. Feral is a werecat, a mutant with superhuman strength, senses, and reflexes, a prehensile tail, and a healing factor. Shatterstar is a refugee from the Mojo world who came to Earth and joined forces with Cable's New Mutants, which soon transformed into X-Force. Shatterstar possesses the mutant ability to channel powerful vibratory shockwaves through his swords. And that basically sums up all we know about the Deadpool sequel. Much like the first movie, we can expect the Deadpool sequel not to follow a specific storyline. Now, let's talk about what the sequel could introduce to further expand on the lore revolving around Deadpool's character. The Deadpool movie gave us the backstory of the Merc with a Mouth, how he became the character we all know and love. But the cinematic version of the character is still missing some aspects of its comic book counterpart, namely the inner voices in his head. The casual fans may not know the origins of the voices in Deadpool's head. Some think they manifested after the many experiments Deadpool was submitted to, but that is not the truth. Deadpool has had a couple of different voices in his head in the past, mostly due to his encounters with certain supervillains. Meet Madcap, a man who possesses an extraordinary healing factor and the ability to manipulate the emotions of others. Shortly before the Secret Invasion storyline, Madcap ran into Deadpool on a rooftop while the latter was attempting a hit on Matt Murdock. There was a short fight between the two where they compared healing factors. Then, a failed attempt to drive Deadpool insane led to a battle with Daredevil and Thor. Thor electrocuted the pair to dust while they were still holding each other, so when they regenerated, only Deadpool seemed to survive. But Madcap lived on inside Deadpool's mind, manifesting to Deadpool in the form of a white caption box. The pair was eventually split. This could be a good way to introduce Deadpool's iconic voices in his head, which was briefly hinted at in the first movie. Madcap could serve as a side plot for the movie leading up to the main antagonist. There are other characters that crossed paths with Deadpool before in the comics that could be brought in as either a main antagonist or for a smaller role. Someone like Hitmonkey, who is a monkey-turned mercenary and has faced Deadpool in the past. The first Deadpool movie did a pretty good job not taking itself too seriously, so bringing in someone like Hitmonkey, even as a first act encounter, would make for a hilarious and surreal experience. Now, as a main antagonist, someone like Mr. Sinister would be a perfect fit. The first Deadpool movie had a more grounded tone, but since the sequel is introducing time traveling, this could be a chance to bring in more colorful villains. Mr. Sinister is hailed as the greatest geneticist in the world, capable of cloning, creating, enhancing, and controlling mutant abilities. Of course, there's the issue of whether or not they would address his connections to Apocalypse, but since Sinister was already confirmed to exist within the X-Men universe, the Deadpool sequel could be the way to introduce this character, possibly setting him up as the antagonist of the future X-Force movie as well. Other well-known villains that could show up in the movie are Omega Red, who's faced Deadpool and Wolverine in the past, and Strife, who was a clone of Cable. Of course, the movie could go a completely different way and bring in characters long forgotten even by the most avid fans. Characters like the Administrator, who was the leader of the Watchtower, an anti-mutant faction who conducted medical research on mutants. In the past, he hired Deadpool to lead a team to hunt down Wolverine so they could research his healing factor. The X-Force ultimately foiled his plans, and the Administrator died at the hands of Domino. Since this character has ties to all three of the major characters in the sequel, having the Administrator as the main antagonist wouldn't be such a far-fetched idea. The Deadpool sequel is still in early stages of production, so we are only left to speculate about what direction they're taking this movie, what plot they're gonna follow, and what characters they're gonna bring in. So that has been it for this video, guys. As always, feel free to share your thoughts down below. Who do you think is going to show up in the movie? Who do you think is going to be the main antagonist of the movie? What storyline do you think they're going to follow, if they're following a certain storyline? As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.